Today we are looking at Athenaze 7 Alpha. What I did for you guys is I marked up the text with a color coding scheme which will give you kind of a key to what the cases are of each noun or adjective. What I usually do is I highlight in green main verbs, so every time you see a main verb it's going to be highlighted in green. What I also do for green is I put nouns that are in the nominative case. So probably the subject of a sentence is going to be green if you're seeing a noun that's green, or I will also highlight. So any of the colors that you see that I would write in, I would also use as highlights. So nominative is green, genitive is blue, pink is dative, and red for accusative. As we go through the story here, I think you'll see that the color coding scheme, it works. It works at some in some way, and you get to actually see what's happening with the text. For things like infinitives, etc., I will just pick a random color to do those. Okay, so let's start off by talking about Odysseus and his men. Right, from the other instructional video, you know what happened. They encountered many storms, etc. And so they sail, pleusi, they sail at one time, and that word is here, okay? So once upon a time, they sail to an island. The island is described as some certain island, and it's also described as mikron, as small. You'll notice because all of these are highlighted in red, red is accusative, and that's because this is a prepositional phrase. So A's is the preposition, and the noun that's followed by A's has to be accusative. So once upon a time they sailed to an island, a certain small island, comma, and they walk out, here's the they part of the verb, usi, they. Bino means to walk, this noun, this verb, bino. And then you get this preposition ek, which means out of. And Greek likes to double up on these. So we have they walk out of. And what are they walking out of? They're walking out of the ships. So here we have a genitive, a prepositional phrase in the genitive, ek being the preposition, and then the noun that follows that preposition has to be genitive, and in this case it's plural, ton neon, of the ships. What else did they do besides get off the ship? And they poiusin, they make dapnon, they make dinner. Now you'll see the red line there tells me that that noun is accusative, and then it's up to you to remember which accusative use that is, and that of course is the direct object. Pink is dative. This preposition en has to be followed by a noun in the dative case, and that is what this is. So they make dinner on the beach. And esti, there is nearby, engus, another island. So see the green line here tells me that this noun is nominative. Because the green line extends under this other word, that means this adjective, ale, is also nominative, and it's modifying the word nesos. Let me just point out also, this word engus means near or nearby. In the note, I think it says nearly, so I just switched it here to say nearby. So there is nearby another island, and they see horosi, they see kapnon, they see smoke, and the sound they hear, aku usi. So let's go back. They see smoke, and they hear the sound. Now a genitive of possession, and that's this whole blue phrase. They hear the sound of sheep, both of sheep and of goats. Therefore, this is an expression of time that's in the dative. On the next day, Odysseus Keleue, this is the verb from your quiz, orders his hetyrus, his companions, infinitive, to walk, a's, into what? There's Greek doubling up again, into the ship. So you could just say to board the ship, right? He orders his companions to board the ship because bouletai, now this ending etai is just the he, she ending in the middle voice. Because he wants, right, plane, here's an infinitive, to sail to the island, kai, and he wants to know, and this is what's called an indirect question, who lives there. So an indirect question is not the question who lives there. It's actually it's a clause that comes after a verb, to know. So he wants to know who lives there, and that's why the period is there at the end of the sentence. Let's go on to this next paragraph, and then we'll be all set. So Odysseus wants to go there, right? He wants to know who these people are. And soon, di oligu, that's this prepositional phrase, soon, therefore, they, this is the third person plural, middle voice ending for they, right? So pretty soon they arrive, afik noontai. They arrive where? At the island. And now I have a prepositional phrase. Engos means near. The noun it goes with has to be genitive, so that's why it's blue. Okay? Near the sea, a big cave. That red line means all of this is accusative. A big cave they see. And many sheep and many goats. Now, you might be wondering here, but these are all third-person plural endings, and they all mean they. They see, horosi, afik noontai, they arrive. So what happens? Ha Odysseus, therefore Odysseus, subject, to his companions, pink is dative, to his companions, facin, he says, humes. This is a vocative use, direct address when he's talking to them. He talks to them in the vocative. He calls them you guys, and Nate, here's the imperative, menete, you guys wait next to the boat. De and I, and here's my verb here, echo, and I, what? I have and know in mind, and we say the same thing in English. We say to have in mind. Because I have in mind, I intend to do what? Eni, you guys remember, means to go. A's means into, and Greek's doubled up again. I have an idea to go into the cave, and that is an entire prepositional phrase in the accusative. That's why it's wrapped up in red. Therefore, what does he do? He keleu Odysseus' orders, dodeca, 12, and this is called a partitive genitive here, 12 ton heteron, of his companions. He orders them to do what? And this part you're just going to have to get from the notes down here, right? He orders them to follow him. Now that esthai part, this is the infinitive in the middle voice. And with this particular verb, if you follow someone in Greek, they have to be dative. And that's why the ending of this pronoun here, altoi, is dative.